Welcome to MCBOSS Triple Live Stream. I'm Michael 2. Right now it's 9:09 a.m. Friday, November 14th, 2025. We have a huge reversal this morning from pretty much most of the index. Nasdaq's up 1%. Check my volume here. Might be some issue with my volume. One second. The volume.
Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Moving why is it not showing? One more test, one more test. I think it is working. So let me just bring up IBD here. Sorry about that. Alright, let's go to it. Um, okay. So Nasdaq is up 0.2%, Dow is down 0.6, S&P is near flat, and Nasdaq volume is pretty high. Um, Let me bring up my Excel file as well. Hold on. And we'll go. Okay, 1 second here. Sorry, be patient, please. Okay, bring up my. Okay, so let me go to the chart here. And let's go to QQQ. So this morning we have a very big reversal. We tested the lows once again right here, 598.67 on the QQQ index, and the low here is 597. So we did break the low and we bounced back. This is very good news because not only we test the 50-day, but we also test the low. That kind of, you know, again, we don't know if this downtrend is over, but at this moment, because we're still under the slope line, downtrend line here, and but it's starting to look better because we don't know every time you test it and it pass, it means there's support, right? It means there's investors coming in wanting to get at certain price. Whether that over time, whether there's enough buyers, we don't know, right? Like it might take another week or two to know whether we can come back above this level in the middle range here. But at this moment, we know there's buyers at this level here. So that's the good sign. So at least between here and the middle area, which is near the 10-day, is probably um, some support level there, right? Again, a 1 day bounce doesn't mean a lot, but on a Friday, usually a bounce is a good sign, But obviously we had that same thing a week ago, and but this week, we gap out on Monday, but then we give back a lot by the end of the week. So it's just a very tough environment, very choppy environment. But nonetheless, um, and but this also give a lot of stocks to correct or pull back, and you see how they react, right? See how they are behaving. So, but today is a very good sign. Today we continue to test, keep making new highs here, so that's a good sign. SPY, very similar. Let's go to daily chart. So this one didn't test the low because this one a little bit stronger, but still, because QQQ did, it's already good enough. So that's SPY. Dow, Dow is slightly weaker. It's still down for the day. It was gapping down pretty hard. Um, I don't know. This it went from the strongest index to kind of pretty weak, right? But yeah, but anyhow, nonetheless, it is making intraday high, so it is making progress. Whether it can reclaim the 21 day today, I'm not sure. If we close here, it might be a little bit weaker. It'd be nice if we can go at least to the 10 day there. But again, uh, that might be a lot to ask. But anyhow, again, the lows here, it didn't come close to it, so that's probably the positive sign you can look at. And then finally we have Russell. Okay, Russell clearly make a new low this morning. It's bouncing back. Again, I think Dow and Russell is lagging a little bit, but they tend to move really fast. So, and we saw that recently with Dow, right? And so it can come back really fast if Nasdaq and S&P continue to power up. So we'll see what happens. But right now it's not bad. It's near the intraday high. Continue to try to make new highs. Okay, but the most impressive thing was probably the stocks on the move this morning, because when we started the day there was like few stocks only, but now a lot of stocks have come up on this list. You have Bloom Energy bouncing. We can take a quick look. I don't trade this one just because of the earnings, but it's bouncing pretty strong. So here's a good example. So many growth stocks are below the 10 day. So if you draw a slope around the 10 day, it is below that slope. And even with today's bounce, a lot of them are um, kind of still below it, right? And so the pattern was yesterday was a bad day for most growth stocks, and some of them drop a lot more, like this one dropped all the way to the 50 day. Some of them dropped to 21, some dropped below 21 but not quite to the 50 day, and so forth. And then today they make a because of the market weakness this morning, they all make a new low, uh intraday low, and then they bounce back. Right now this bounce looks healthy, because it's such a strong bounce, right? But you know they said before, in bear markets or in corrections, the strongest day is usually, there's always a one strong day of bounce, and those happens in bear market or correction. So, um, take it with a grain of salt, like what's happening right now. If you really feel like you want to get in, my like for me, I personally just either take a smaller position, or I look for stocks that have are looking even stronger than this kind of pattern. And we'll see some of that in a second here. 1 second, uh, let me close some of this so we don't get disrupted here. Okay, so so that's BE. Let's go to CLS. We have very similar again, right? Big down day yesterday. Bouncing back today from this one also dropped to 50 day, and then we have this downtrend line here. So they all have similar pattern. Fix, same thing here. This one also fell to 50 day this morning, bouncing back below the 10-day moving average trend line here. So the next stock on the list that it's been moving a lot lately. BKV in the oil and gas, onshore natural gas involvement. Um, and this one is trending nicely. So this is one stock that is not following the market recent downtrend. And also it is acting really well. Like, I mean, even this morning it bounced back very quick. Um, yeah, so very surprising. There's another one in this group. Let me see here. So there's BKV and then there's LB. Let's take a look at LB as well. Now this one is building a nice cup base coming back. It hasn't done much for a long time, but recently it started to move. Here's the strong movement here, and then I guess the earnings news. I don't know if it report yesterday or today, but anyhow, it pulled back, and then this morning it bounced nicely here. And this is a very strong 4 days run. So to give back half of it is probably normal, right? So we'll see what happens next, but it's a very strong bounce today. Let's keep going with stocks on the move here. We have MU. So you won't see many tech stocks here because there is some Palantir, Credo, Billy, which is Chinese, Light. Okay, we can look at some of those. So yeah, let's look at MU first. So MU yesterday a bad day, but you see how it didn't even come to it only closed at 10-day, which is very strong. This is probably one of the strongest tech stocks for sure, one of the top two. And then it bounced back, and today look at that. It's not only surpassed yesterday's high, but it's trying to aim for a new high, like new close high here. It's up 7% at this moment. Very powerful stock. Um, because most tech stocks are below their 10-day, whereas this one is still above it. The other one is momentum, but let's see. So this one bounced back. So this one closed below 10-day, bounced back, still below trend line. Palantir, this one below. So this one look a little bit bad right now because it's below the red line, which is 50-day. But again, bounce back. It's still below the trend line though. So you can sell a lit there on that trend line. What was the other ones here? But no. Credo. Yeah, Credo is still below the trend line again, trying to bounce back below 50-day. You know, and there's nothing wrong below 50-day because they're bouncing right now. But again, the 10-day is important. As it comes to the 10-day, what are they gonna do? Right? That's the key question. So I mean, you can buy on this bounce, but just understand that when it comes to the 10-day or near the 10-day, it's gonna get challenged. And what is it gonna do? Um, let's let's look at. There's a lot of industrials moving today. Um, Modine, FN, MOD. So this again, this guy's got hit hard. Look at how far it went down here below the 50-day. So again, the 10-day slope is really far away. That's the only problem with these stocks, right? And they also got hit really hard, so that also makes me think like a lot of investors got out recently, and they could be the big investors. Who knows? VRT. Um, so this one is bouncing back on the 50. This one is getting close now to the 10-day. It's getting close. VRT. FTAI. So this one looks really good. Look at it already make new high uh, compared to the last week or more sessions, right? This looks really good. Right? It even hit my trend line there. So that looks really good. Let's see what else on this. There's a lot of stocks moving. Again, but they all have the same pattern, most of them. But let me go to my list here because I took a look at it. So let me see here. C1, Intel, um, those are in the tech area. They look slightly different than other charts just because they are so strong recently. But this one already making new high compared to yesterday. That's exactly what you want to see. Intel, this is another one making new high compared to yesterday. So these are stocks that are outperforming right now. Of course, we saw MU as NDK is bouncing. There's not much in retail. Again, industrials, all of them got hit hard yesterday, and today they're bouncing. But is it enough to, yeah, it's kind of, you have to manage your own risk. You're gonna get back in, or stuff like that. On the health side, we have ASND, H row. So this one is making really nice move, breaking out right now. So that looks really good. H row. This one is again, it didn't drop too much the last 2 days after a big update here. So now it's bouncing and it will be new closing high. We close here. So very strong movement here. MDGL. Here's another one that's bouncing. Really nice uptrend here going. Didn't comes near 10-day and bounce, like very strong action. There's also YPF here in the resource area. Um, let's take a quick look here. This is Argentina company. Really nice uptrend. Come near the 10-day bounce, right? So that's exactly what you want to see. Financials kind of weak. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll keep watching and see how this market close. I will be coming out with new videos this weekend. Thanks for watching. Have a good Friday. Bye.